In a landmark step to protect the interests of Indian manufacturers, the Government of India has announced anti-dumping duties on injection molding machines imported from China and Taiwan. The move, officially notified on 27 June 2025 by the Ministry of Finance through CBIC, is a strong signal that India is serious about shielding its local industries from unfair global trade practices. For years, India's plastic machinery manufacturers have been fighting an uphill battle. Imported machines, especially from China, were entering the Indian market at heavily discounted prices, undercutting local producers and squeezing profit margins. PMMAI has long advocated for protection of the producers. They have argued that foreign manufacturers weren't just competing, they were dumping products below fair market value, creating an uneven playing field. PMMAI had been lobbying for tariffs to prevent this damage, and their persistence has finally borne fruit. Anti-dumping duties were first applied on Chinese imports in 2009, but foreign exporters found workarounds, rerouting their products through countries like Vietnam, Malaysia, and the Philippines, bypassing the tariffs. In 2016, after another petition from PMMAI, the government extended these duties to include those nations as well. However, the relief was short-lived. After 5 years, with no sunset review, tariffs expired and aggressive underpricing resumed. Over the last decade, Indian producers have invested heavily in R&D, technology upgrades, and capacity expansion, but they have struggled to stay afloat against ultra-cheap imports from foreign. Factories stood idle, order books dried up, and the plastic industry cried out for help. In response, the government initiated a detailed investigation, and on the recommendation of the Directorate General of Trade Remedies, fresh duties were imposed. This new policy applies to one of the most crucial segments of India's plastic processing sector: horizontal type closed clamp injection molding machines with clamping forces between 40 and 1500 tons. According to the official notification, the duties imposed on machine in all forms: fully assembled, completely knocked down, and semi-knocked down units. However, there are specific exclusions too. Blow molding machines, vertical injection molders, all electric servo models, and used machines will not attract this duty. Importantly, the duties will last for 5 years unless reviewed earlier, and the highest applicable duty applies in cases of untraceable origins and transshipment. For domestic manufacturers, this announcement is more than just a policy. It's a lifeline. It offers breathing space for local producers who have been competing against impossible odds. This new duty is expected to stabilize the market, restore pricing integrity, and rebuild confidence within the sector. India's move also mirrors global trends. Countries around the world, from the United States to Turkey, Mexico, and the European Union, regularly use anti-dumping tactics as a means to defend their industries. In 2025 alone, India has imposed duties on imports like aluminium foil, vacuum flask, titanium dioxide, and even solar gas, mostly targeting imports from China. With the trade deficit hitting $99.2 billion in 2024 to 2025, this action comes across as more than just protection from the government. It's a part of strategic national pivot towards strengthening self-reliance, reducing dependence on China, and building domestic industrial capacity, signaling the government's long-term commitment towards Atmanirbhar Bharat, a self-reliant India. With this move, India isn't just taxing machines, it's reclaiming its markets, reaffirming faith in local entrepreneurs, and reimagining its industrial future. This anti-dumping duty is likely to shake up supply chains and push importers to rethink sourcing, but it also opens up space for Indian manufacturers to rise, compete, and lead. In the long term, this policy could be a cornerstone in building a stronger, more resilient Indian plastic machinery industry, one that doesn't just survive but thrives.